Hello everybody, today is July 16th, 2024. I have a few names for you to work on. I think I have 12, something like that. Anyways, this is not financial advice. This is for information purposes. If you see any utility on what you're getting here, please subscribe and like the video. Other than that, let's get started. I have Amazon, which I mentioned yesterday as well. And what I was saying yesterday was the possibility of a rebound here at 190 and then a continuation towards 200, or just breaking this level as, right here. Well, it didn't happen. However, I still see the MACD and the TSI kind of weak. There might be a follow-up to this move towards 190. So just be careful on that area. If you're thinking about going long, I would wait a little bit more and see how this behaves. This morning, I had some calls that I got yesterday by the end of the day, and I sold them as soon as the market opened. I thought they were kind of risky, and that's the reason why I got out. So I got out of them pretty quickly, and I guess luck was on my side because my perception was, and this was gonna, at least this move was gonna cool down for a little bit and maybe continue going up at some point, but it actually didn't. It just went up on the opening, and it was probably because of what is it, Amazon Prime Day or whatnot, and then it went down again. So it was quick money, I would say, but I don't have any positions on Amazon, and the reason is because I see uncertainty here. There is low liquidity here still. Volume is not bad. I think there's still more, I guess, I wouldn't say opportunity, but more a bigger case to continue going towards 190, and then you can make a decision. So this level is still, or this area is still not developed yet, and I would wait to get into any names. I also got let's move to the next stock. AVGO. AVGO was pretty interesting as well. I did get some calls of AVGO sometime yesterday during the day. It wasn't by the end of the day, but I got a couple of calls, and I sold right at opening. Actually, I'm looking at the 1 day. Sorry about that. So yeah, at some point I got some calls the day before. So it was somewhere around here in the middle of the day or something yesterday. And then at open, I did the same thing. I thought my trade was a little bit risky, so I just wanted out. I got out within the next, the first or second candle of the day. It went up a little bit and then it totally failed. I think if we go to the 1 day chart, I think there might be a continuation to the downside. You have low liquidity here. I don't have any levels here, so let's see if we can find something here. But you also have this gap that you encounter in this area. You know, semis are a little bit weak right now. This might continue for a few more days. Who knows? I really don't know. But just keep an eye on this level per se. Anyways, if you're thinking about going long, I would discourage doing that. But I do believe that there might be some opportunity to the downside. If you take a look at the MACD and the TSI, I'm starting to look this to the downside, considering that you also have a low liquidity area right here. That might actually play out. It's not a bad idea. 5 minute. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, so this level, you can consider this level in one way or another, but yeah, I kind of like AVGO to the downside. You still have the same type of indicators here, so be careful AVGO if you want to go up. Again, it's probably a better play if for a put or some shorts. Now next I have Caterpillar. Actually, let's put this Caterpillar. Sorry, let's do right here. So I was talking, did I say Caterpillar yesterday? Did I mention it? No, but I think I did on Sunday. At some point, I did mention Caterpillar. And what I was saying was, I heard on Spaces on X, some investor or trader, whatever, talking about going short over here, right in this area. I was completely disagreeing with this guy as far as what I was seeing on volume and what I was seeing over here. I didn't take any positions or contrarian positions to his, and this is a pretty experienced guy, so I don't think he was trying to improvise or anything. He had his own thesis about why this was going to continue going down. I just didn't see it as far as the way I like to trade. Anyways, this ended up consolidating here. And then what happened was you had a little break on the, or you actually were meeting here with a doji candle on resistance and also the 35 SMA, and then you had a pretty nice move on the last 2 days. This was pretty nice actually. I wasn't really paying attention to Caterpillar. I would guess, and this is gonna have a little bit of a cool down with by the end of the week or not, but I liked what we saw here. I think I wish I could. I have a lot of notes, so it would take me a little bit of time to find when I mentioned Caterpillar. I definitely mentioned Caterpillar on X, but yeah, I like the setup, and that's why I was talking about it. So, anyways, I don't want to spend a lot of time looking into my notes, but Caterpillar was a very nice setup. I think it would be risky to get in to the to go long on any of this type of candles. It's not the way I like to trade, and there might be more room to continue going up. I'm not debating that, but the way I see it, I miss a train on this. As per usual, I'm okay with that. There's a lot of really cool setups. Would be nice to see this consolidating or flagging right there, and then you have a nice opportunity to come back in. That RSI is already oversold, so a flagging on this area would be fantastic. I like Caterpillar. I like the way it moves. It's a slow move stock, so if you're buying calls or puts or whatever, just make sure that you give yourself enough time for the stock to move. 2 or 3 months away is probably what I would do. Caterpillar is always a name to keep in your watch list. Now let's move on and go to Chipotle. Where is this Chipotle thing? So Chipotle, I was talking about Chipotle probably a couple of days ago, definitely on the weekend, either Saturday or Sunday. And what I was saying was you're gonna fill this gap, which we already did, and then you had to also take a look or keep an eye on this level right here. Looks like the MACD and the TSI are starting to curl. I think it's a little bit too soon to go long on this. Seeing a rebound tomorrow or the next 2 days on this support level is definitely critical. And then if that happens, you're gonna start seeing a better reaction on the MACD and the TSI. The RSI is already on its way. That is also a good thing. Keep in mind you have earnings on the 24th, which is next Wednesday. That could ruin whatever you're thinking about doing with this name. So just be careful. There might be an opportunity within the next few days just to run into this. There might be a little run within before earnings, but we'll see. I don't think Chipotle is doing too well, but that's what I think. I don't have any information that backs that up. And you're also going to encounter the 35 SMA at one point, probably right at this area right here on resistance. So we'll see. There might be a couple of days of opportunity here. Today it was up 2%. I like Chipotle, but I want to see what happens on this range, and I want to see if there is opportunity after earnings. I wouldn't say before earnings, but opportunity after earnings. There might be opportunity actually before earnings if you're a little bit more you want to take some risks and you think that this move is actually going to develop into resistance. You can do like a 1 or 2 day swing, and that might work. But that's what I have for Chipotle. Now what I have is, let's go to DELL. I think this setup is failing. Now you are on resistance at, I'm sorry, on support at 35 SMA. At least for this trend line, is not working out. I guess a thesis that I wanted to see, or what I wanted to see going on here, was what we're seeing here, the consolidation and then breaking out, but it didn't. It's actually going the opposite direction. It happens sometimes. The MACD and the TSI are also telling you the same thing. The histogram on the MACD is also there. There is a little bit of more volume to the downside right now. So your next support level is 131. I think if you break this, you would probably continue falling. Earnings are not coming until end of August. So I think there is still, unless it bounces here, you might see something, but I don't think I'm gonna work on DELL or keep an eye on DELL for a week or a couple of weeks, unless something really obvious happens here. But right now, I wanted to go long on DELL. It's obviously not gonna happen, and I don't think I want to short it. It's not the type of stock that I would like to go short. It doesn't trade that bad, but I went long in some of these moves. It was a gap. There was a gap right here, so I went long in this area right here, and my thesis was that it was gonna fill the gap, and then we'll see. And it filled the gap almost, and then it failed, consolidated on this area. Now you see this setup, and it didn't work out. So there might be an opportunity to the downside if we break support. If we go under the 35 SMA, there might be something going on there. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of like pass by DELL and see. But I'm really not gonna spend much time with this name, considering that there might be a little bit of I don't know, uncertainty in this area. So next, I do have Disney. The only reason why I'm mentioning Disney now is because you had a nice rebound on this support level at, where are we? 36.20, give or take. Today it was 1.6% day. It was pretty decent, especially considering how this downtrend for Disney. I did do some day trading on Disney. But I don't remember if it was to the upside or the downside. Oh, it was over here. Yes. So I got some puts, and when it got kind of weak on this area, I got out. And then I moved on to something else. Maybe I was doing something else, but there was definitely opportunity over here. But I was, at that point, I was doing something else. It got pretty weird right in this area, and that's what I got out. I was like, this might continue going down, and then it got flat like this, and when there was a little bit of extra volume, I got out in one of these red candles. So I had puts somewhere up here, and then I got out here. So it was a quick trade. I definitely missed this move right here, but I was already probably looking into something else, or who knows. But that's what I did on Disney. I think there is an opportunity. It's a little bit premature to say this, for Disney, for some entries on Disney. There might be more opportunity to do some day trading on Disney if you actually catch the move up. So we'll see. I used to day trade Disney, and I did pretty well, so I might come back to it. I just think that we can continue going towards the 200 EMA, and then we can assess what happens on this area. There's a lot of volume right here, so it might get choppy again, but it looks like we might be seeing a little bit of a reversal on this area right now. It did it in the past, kind of like in the same fashion. It went up and down. It kind of like consolidated, and then it went up. But again, another thing that you have going on is earnings in the beginning of August. I think I was mentioning in another video, I don't see anything new coming out from Disney. if anything, I see negative stuff going on or comments about Disney. So anyways, that doesn't determine what earnings are going to dictate. But anyways, I do believe we might get in range here, and there might be opportunities to do some day trading if you see nice setups like what you have right in this area, and then what you had right on here. Like these two were perfect, at least for the way I like to trade with the MACD and the TSI at the same time. These were like perfect setups. I was uncomfortable with this, with what was going on here, but these two were great. I took this one, I didn't work on this one. Anyways, that is all I have for Disney. Let's move on to Intel. So Intel, I think I was either saying this on a video or interacting with somebody on X, and what this, yeah, it was a lady who was telling me this. She was saying that she wanted to see a rally before earnings, and my answer to her was like, it would be great, and this was on these candles, in one of these two candles, and my answer to her was like, I would love to see a consolidation here, so these indicators cool down a little bit, and then you have the next move towards earnings, and we'll see what happens on earnings. I have no idea, but I think there might be an opportunity here if you consider this an area in which this can bounce out of the 35 SMA and continue going up. I don't day trade this name. If I have done it, I've done it a couple of times, so I would say I don't do it. But there is definitely opportunity. It was consolidating here. It broke this resistance level, broke this other resistance level, and now we're up here. It would be great if it continues consolidating within this range between what you see on these weeks and 35 SMA, and then you see another move towards earnings, and then sell, or that's what I would do, execute your contracts right before earnings. I don't like to trade into earnings. It's kind of it's way too risky for me, but I still like Intel. Keep it on your watch list. Not necessarily, I wouldn't keep it on my focus list. There's a big difference between one and the other. So if you have it on your watch list, just keep an eye, look at it like every day. Especially what I do is I look at the daily chart, and then, if it works, or if it's looking like it's going to work, then I move this into my focus list, which is a small list, and then I get my entries. Another thing to keep an eye on this is the lack of liquidity here. That's a good thing. But again, this is one of the many times that I'm going to tell you, just let this evolve a little bit, let it move, do its thing, and then when it starts telling you a story that gives you a bias towards a bullish trend or a bearish trend, then you can make your move, or you can make a better decision. Anyways, that's what I have for Intel. And now we're gonna go to Mara. So on Mara, I talk about Mara right here. I think that was on Friday, so I did mention this this on, where are we, on X, and Mara right here. So I did mention it on July the 13th. When is the 13th? That was Friday, so I mentioned it over the weekend. Yes, I did it on Saturday. What I was saying was like, there might be momentum coming in because Bitcoin was moving, therefore Mara was probably gonna move, and it actually did, and it did with a lot of momentum. So it did it with a 18% move, and today was 8+%. Mara does this all the time, and then it also fails and brings you down. So you just be very careful with Mara. If something happens to Bitcoin, Mara is gonna go down. It happens all the time. It is a difficult name to trade, but if you actually catch these candles and you have a good amount of contracts, you're gonna walk away with some very decent money. That's the thing with this name. The setup was also helping because of the consolidation here. So then you saw this move here basically from 19 all the way up to almost 27. If you got options within the last three trading days, gee, I mean, that's pretty decent. Anyways, I didn't take this position even though I knew it was gonna keep going up, but I was playing other names and I don't know, I just didn't take it. But I did mention this on July the 13th. Here we are now at 27, almost 27. So just be cautious. The fact that you see this moving this way doesn't mean that it's gonna continue going forever. It might take a little breather and then continue. The MACD and the TSI are not that crazy right now. The RSI is already oversold. So anyways, if you have been trading for a while, you're familiar with MARA and how it behaves. So be careful with it. Now I'm gonna go with Meta. Meta was pretty interesting. I started talking about Meta right here. As some of you know, we went up all the way to all-time highs. Now it's failing. One thing that you have to keep an eye, and I think I mentioned that on X, is this key support level, which is 485, 486. So we actually touched it today. Let's go to the 30-minute or maybe 15-minute. And yeah, it was, let's go a little bit lower, 5 minutes. So it went down, we can say 1, 2 times today, and then it bounced out of it. We'll see if we see a continuation to this rebound. I just think we might be able to see something going on here. I don't wanna try to predict right now. I feel like the MACD and the TSI are telling me that we might break this support level at 485 and then continue going down. That is very possible. You're a little bit under the 35 SMA, so keep your eye on this support level and make decisions on that. So I feel like there's a possibility to keep going down, but you might also rebound and go towards 500 again. This is the level you gotta keep an eye on. Now, let's move to Marvel. And with Marvel, we have, sorry, I keep notes every time. What I was saying over the weekend was this. You have this pattern right here, and now you're flagging it, and now you have this nice move, almost 3% up candle. There is more, I guess, room to continue going up. You don't have a lot of liquidity over here compared to what you have down here. So tomorrow might be an interesting day. And, options are not that expensive. I think it trades pretty decent during the day. So there is enough liquidity, I guess, to get in and out. If you want to do some swinging or day trading, I would swing this towards 78. And but I like the setup. I like the MACD and like the TSI. The RSI is not that I guess extended. So I like what I'm seeing here. If let's get this out of the way. Let's actually raise it. Yeah, it actually looks pretty decent in my eyes. So I'm gonna put this on my focus list actually because I really like this. I really like the setup. So we have this for MRVL. All right. So sorry, I gotta take another note. Now next I have this name that I'm really liking, and that is Nike. Look at this. So Nike was up 2% today. What I put on X was a recommendation to everybody was to hold just on this. And now tomorrow we might have a crazy day, 5% or something, and that would kind of suck in the sense that you could lose that move, but I want to see this curling a little bit more, because sometimes the MACD line gets very close to the signal line and then it fakes out and comes down again. I want to see a couple of more green days, get into this volume shelf right here, and then deploy some money on this area. This is a name that I'm really waiting for. I've been mentioning Nike for quite a while already, and I'm just waiting very patiently to put money on this. So I think it's gonna work out. I think what I'm seeing here, I like what I'm seeing here. The RSI is already moving up. The TSI is looking good. The divergence that you see here is telling you a lot. A couple of green days coming up by Monday or Friday before closing. I might actually put money on Nike. So Nike is right now my favorite name. I'm not putting any money on it yet. I'm gonna wait and see 1 or 2 more days. Today is Tuesday. By Friday for sure we're gonna know. We're gonna see this whole thing looking in a complete different manner, and it's gonna tell you, okay, this is just gonna either consolidate or go down, or this is really gonna start moving towards this gap, which is the earnings gap, and also this liquidity gap over here. Earnings are not coming anytime soon, so we're good on this. I really like Nike. And then now I'm gonna mention my last name, which is PayPal. So I drew this over the weekend, the inverse head and shoulders. What I was saying was, you have this resistance level, you break this, that look fantastic. And I actually drew this pattern right here. If this actually happens, I would definitely buy Palantir, probably next week or so. Now earnings are coming, that could destroy the whole thing, so I take it back. I'm gonna wait and see what happens here, what kind of momentum I can find. I like Palantir, but I don't like that earnings are coming pretty soon. I don't know what kind of surprises it might have. Last time on earnings, they didn't do too well. They went down almost 10%. But at least this immediate setup that I had here, that I mentioned on Sunday, we were over here, is playing out. Now you have this SMA 35 SMA resistance. Keep an eye on that if you want to take some, I guess, calls before earnings. You know, my only thing would be like the behavior that you are gonna find on the 35 SMA and the 200 EMA. That's pretty much it. This might continue going up. I don't know. For me, I want to see a retest. However, by the time we might retest this level, earnings might be probably on top of us. So I'm probably not going to take it until I see something better. Anyways, that's all I have for today. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.